Hey guys, welcome back to some Raid Shadow Legends. Today's video, we're going to be getting into a chapter or essentially a level 45. 45 is going to unlock a bunch of things. Definitely thank you for joining me for the stream. It's awesome to do this on a regular basis. But going in here, I want to show, if you're new to Raid, exactly what we're doing. If you're an old player to Raid, definitely throw out your tips and tricks that you have for this game in the entirety. And of course, we are in the midst of the 6th anniversary events. We've been focusing and building on this after party just through regular gameplay. So my path that I went through, and I know a lot of players were kind of commenting which path did I choose. I went in here for the silver, then we got the energy right off of the bat, went down this route, and the reason being we want to hit up this 750 energy. Right now for where I'm at, I will actually get more energy as energy itself versus getting the gems and exchanging it for energy. That's because I'm not on a higher level. I feel like it could be beneficial if you're going in and getting the gems versus the energy, but I did go for the energy. Now, ultimately, we are trying to get down here and pick up some Immortal Soul Essence. This is going to make a big difference as we can buy some of our champions out of different game modes. When it comes to avatar frames, when it comes to anything like this, I could care less. Honestly, in every single game, when it comes to cosmetics, when it comes to avatar frames, when it comes to skins, when it comes to anything of that nature, I just 100% opt out of it in its entirety. I don't care. It's something that I'm never going to build, and I'm not too worried about. If it does not let me and help me make progression within the game itself, I am completely and entirely opted out of it. So we are in day, and I love the daily login rewards because I can see we're in day 23 right here. We do pick up another artifact. We're waiting to get High Katoon. Now, a lot of players have said this is a very, very solid support champion that we're looking to get, building it out. And we also wanted to get into the point of getting into the siege. So we've been into clan. We can break down the clan a little bit because clans are super important. When you get into Raid, you have to join a clan. It is an absolute requirement. And I forget about it sometimes, but going into a clan, again, looking at the members, looking at your daily activity, making sure that you do get a significant amount of resources out of the progression. But the big thing in here is the clan quest. Any place that you can pick up this clan gold is going to allow you to purchase things in the clan shop. And we've been doing that on a regular basis. And looking in here, getting the additional energy, getting the chickens. Early game, possibly, you can see we did buy one of these just early game to make progression. You're grinding levels, you're building a lot of champions. But looking overall, we want to get champion fragments out of here. And Yannicka is the first one that we're going to go to when our clan hits level 5. At this point, we are at level 4, and we're almost into level 5 at this point. Also giving you the ability to use all of your clan bosses and everything else. There is so many things that have unlocked within this game over the past 3 weeks. Even when we started, we had the classic arena tokens, which were in there. We unlocked the tag arena. We got the fortress keys, the crypt keys. As we continued progression, joined a clan, got the demon keys, the chimera keys, also got the gold keys as we unlocked the tower. Now, I don't know at this point what it's going to look like going into the next section, and what are we going to get by farming out and getting essentially to level 45 with the siege. We've been waiting for the siege. I might have to run through here and just pick up a couple XP. Going through in really 12-3 is where you will spend a majority of your farming time within Raid itself. Run through here pretty quick. You can see kind of an instant burst damage right there. Disintegrate does kill them out. Now, of course, it takes me about 30 seconds to get through here. But I know if we're going in here, we're finishing out some energy, doing a couple bosses, we will be able to max this out. Now, when it comes to making progression a lot faster within this game, it is about how you're utilizing your gems in relationship to those masteries very, very early, getting these champions really built up to 60 as soon as possible, maxing out the masteries. The other one is the sparring pit. The sparring pit is something that I've really focused on. I'm just building up a little bit further, making sure that we have some of our champions building on a regular basis. And it is going to pay off dividends even here a little bit longer on the run through, but I'm not too worried about it because we did go ahead and get through there and it did not level us up. We picked up a couple more chase points. Now, getting out and building out Alice, we've been working through and working towards a lot, as well as our missions, but the quests, the dailies go into the weeklies, which go into the monthlies and go into the advanced quests are every day. Going through here systematically figuring this out. I just got a 5-star chicken out of here. We're looking at the epic and the legendary tomes to get out of here. That way we can continue to build up. And if you can do all these, we do get the full energy. Now, one of the things that I cannot figure out is using these silver keys in the Doom Tower. It's very hard. I go in there, I can't beat the battle, so I can't go in there and farm. I can't do anything. So I feel like we're stuck right now because it only requires or only has rare champions in there, which unfortunately we do not have right now. But going in the arena, you are going to get this on a daily basis. Then the login rewards are going to be the same. You're going to get them on a daily basis. Let me hop in here. Let me do a couple summons. That way we can actually pop and get hopefully a little bit more resources. Now, as you can see, we get 30 party coins. So we have been systematically getting party coins out of here and then farming in relationship to also having the Dungeon Divers event. So getting some resources, getting everything out of there. And honestly, when it comes to a few different things in here, earlier game, I'm not even worried about tournaments. I'm not worried about, even right now, we have a PvP Classic Arena takedown, which is right here. We're at, I think we're third within here. So we're doing pretty well. If I get free rewards out of here, great. If I don't, the only thing that I want to focus on is this right side right here, getting all of the rewards in the entirety out of this side. This, of course, is coming through Classic Arena, and it is coming through regular gameplay. I'm not farming it. I'm not doing anything. Fire Night Tournament, use Epic Champions only. This is another one that I am not really farming for the simple fact that my Epic heroes and champions are not really up to par. This would be incredibly difficult to go in here and farm just using some of our epics. And then, like I said earlier, we're overrunning the Dungeon Diver. We are only doing the Dungeon Diver event, again, through that regular gameplay, going through and farming out the 12-3. After party is where we're getting all of the resources. As we're farming, it is coming with these coins little by little through everything that we're doing on a regular basis. So it does kind of overlap for a considerable amount of pieces. And I feel like we have to get a little bit more. We're literally right on the 99% cusp of getting up to level 45 where we want to be once we do hit 45. Now, I'm also farming, like we were saying, we're farming a lot of 4 stars, 3 stars, 2 stars. I've been building these out in their entirety. So we do have a couple over here. I just want to use one of these. That way we can gain a couple levels. We'll go ahead and upgrade with one of those brews. And these continue to give us some more XP. I don't even know how close we are. We're at 100%. Guys, we are at 100% XP. All right, so where's another quest? 50 energy. We have purchased an item at the market. What do we got in here? Let's buy something cheap. Let's buy a common. Usually I just wait for the shards because we have a chance to get it a little bit higher. But again, we are still at 100% of the XP to finish this out. I didn't know how close it would have to be. So clan bosses, I went in here and I did this as well. I systematically, again, we were going through, we were farming everything to 3 stars. Bosses there as at 3 stars. The crossing here is 3 stars. And I believe the hallowed halls, the same we did to 3 stars. Farming these out. Here's 2 stars right here. And I don't know if these two can take it. Let's see if these two can get this battle down, because if they can get this battle down, that again is going to give us another 100 EXP in there, or experience, which means we should be able to finish out this level. Now we're working on a couple or the next 6 star, and I don't know, and let me know in the comments, guys. We're looking at either building out Alice, building out Tagore, building out our high elf Elrindia, or we also do have Torgi, which is the frog. I really kind of went back and forth. A lot of players over on the YouTube channel were saying that we should build out Tagore all the way to 60, just because we already have 2 damage dealers. Adding a 3rd damage dealer in there might be a little bit of overkill. So it might be Tagore that we build to 60. And there we go. So he just got burned down. That means no stars here, even though I'm hoping we can get through here. I wonder if it counts. I wonder if we bring him back to life. Look at the damage. Wow, we might even just wipe on this one. This is the reason why we weren't farming these out earlier, is we know that a lot of damage. And I don't know if he's going to do the rise and fight or if he already did. Revive has been blocked. Yeah, so revive is blocked in there. So we are not going to be able to get this one. Unfortunately, that's okay. We'll have to come back in here and get the 3 stars. Did take down the boss, though. So that is 1 of 3 bosses that are done. And there is 45, guys. Boom. Energy goes to max, 25 gems out of there. Then we get into the Hydra is also unlocked. Master complex tactics, claim unique artifacts. So that is unlocked, which we definitely wanted to see. Also wanted to get in and see the siege unlocked as well. So we're going to have to look at both of these guys. There are going to be a lot of new things at 45. Now, I know the next step, I believe, is level 50 when we start building it up and get a little bit further. So let me look at the bosses. So that does give us, I believe, the 2 additional keys or 3 additional keys. So here is the Hydra. This is the first time seeing this. You can see they used a couple Hydra keys. Defeat the Hydra to claim Hydra chests containing artifacts that could only be found here. Very cool. So it is only found here. Defeating the Hydra on higher difficulty, of course, gives us better rewards. We have a battle right there. And look at this, guys. 6 heads, but you can only fight 4 at once. Start with 4 headers. If you chop off a head, another one will grow back. Maybe the same head or one of the other available heads. So be prepared. You need Hydra keys to battle, limited number of keys every week. I love that they do this on a weekly basis. This really makes a big difference, in my opinion. Now in here, I don't know if we go in with just like the straight attack rate here, but I feel like we're going to have a pretty solid team just based on 2 support. We have 3 damage dealers. Let's see what this looks like. Let's go ahead and start this on auto. And again, I know I'm pretty level or pretty low with the champions that we have in here. I'm building out making formations. Absolutely not a very strong suit, just because we don't have a ton of these built. As we continue to make progression, as we're getting more champions within raid, absolutely can make a lot more progression. So I want to see what this looks like. All right, so right off the bat, the battle looks absolutely just completely badass. That is a wicked looking. And there we go. So we just dropped one of our champions right there. Got to provoke. Yeah, we just lost a second one. So I'm imagining what, no damage in this entire thing, because they got some buffs up on that side. Even weak, we're only hitting for a couple 100 damage. Yeah, the poison is there. Wow. Yes, this is going to be kind of crazy with the damage in here. Look at that. We got just absolutely wrecked. You know what? For the very first one, guys, 27K. Okay, we're in here. We know what the battle is. We know what it looks like. Let's go ahead and keep the results, because I know over the next, or you know what? Let's free regroup or keep the results. So I can't just exit out of it. Let's keep them. There we go. So we got 5 flags right there. Upgrades for content. What do we get out of here? So 1.67. We have to get some drop info. And look at these. Those are rare and mythic artifacts, as well as champion fragments and clan gold. This is going to be crazy to go ahead and farm this. We have to get a lot more 60s in here. That is really cool. Now, also, let's hop out of here. Let's see what the siege looks like. Now, the siege, again, another part of raid, and we're not on 52 yet. Have another 7 levels to unlock that cursed city. But let's see what this prep phase looks like. Welcome to the prep phase, currently at peace with other clans, but the drums of war will sound soon. Prepare your clan fortress. So there is our stronghold. Each building in the clan fortress contains defensive slots. You and your clanmates will place your strongest champions in these defensive team slots to protect the buildings. To set a champion in a certain slot, you need defense scrolls, which I'm not sure. Yeah, we have 2 defense scrolls. More buildings you upgrade, the more defense team slots your fortress will have, the more defense scrolls and your clanmates will have. Bonus sets in buildings either strengthen your team or weaken the opponent. To set them, the clan leader and deputies need to spend mana orbs, which we don't have any yet. Donate them to the mana orb cache to increase your chance on the clan's victory. So there we go. So upgrading the stronghold. Available bonus categories, level 1 to 2, defensive team slots 12 to 16. Donate, we don't have any of those either. Most buildings can be upgraded with foreigns. The higher the level, the more defensive teams can be set in them, and the bonuses they have access to. Donate and watch them become unassailable obstacles for your enemies. During the prep phase, you can also set your reserve team. This backup squad will be automatically set in an empty defense team slot at the end of the prep phase. Okay, so if we put them somewhere else. So here's our reserve team. Each siege team lasts a set amount of time. Once the prep phase is ended, your clan will be matched against an opponent. All right, so my reserve team. Let's just throw in our strong team. This is the strong team. Let's go ahead and put that champion in the reserve team. Cannot be slotted in for specific defense teams. Oh, so this will be our backup team. You know what? Our backup team is going to consist of a couple. Let's put 2 of our support in there, 2, a tank, a damage dealer. There we go. So reserve team has been set. Now right here, minimum defense set 5 of 15 to take part. So if we don't have any more, we're not going to be able to set up. So what do we got? Magic towers in here, defense towers, magic shrines. Looks like some of these already have teams in there. So Farron did put some teams in there, which I do like. In the magical tower, we see a couple tower defense 5, tower defense 4. Stronghold looks like it's already pretty good in here. 379. Pac-Mac is back. Oh, so there's a lot of groups in here to set. Let me look for the defensive building. So if we go out here to a defensive tower, yeah, we're going to have to set a couple of teams. This could get absolutely crazy thinking of how huge and how big of a scale this is. Wow. That is crazy. So again, this is already filled up, so we're not too worried about that. Let me go ahead and drop, what do we got? 379 in there, a group 2, 22. So again, a very basic. Let me go into group 3. Let me go in here and we're going to drop our main team in here that we kind of run for different things. Let's go ahead. Now we have time left is 2 minutes. Let's go ahead and set that. So it feels like that's a very, very rushed team. Now our backup team is already out, I believe, to another outpost is where we sent them. So let's go ahead and drop some other players or other heroes in one of these other towers because we do have those 2 defensive scrolls. Yeah, here we're very, very short. Let's go support. We'll go support. Or you know what? Let's go War Mage. So we got a little bit of support, got a little bit of damage. Let's go ahead and set this because, again, we only have a very, very limited amount of time. So we got that set. So 7 of 60 are set. So we have some teams. Let's look at what we have. So we have our reserve team, which, again, is already set. So I'm okay with that. Mana orbs. Donate mana orbs to the clans, which we cannot do. Battle report is not there. Rankings. We're going to have to see exactly where we are. Attacks and defense for victories. And what can we get out of here? I'm kind of wondering. So here we get minimum point. There we go. Reward info. That's what I was looking at. So depending on which tier we kind of fall in, all the way down to mythic tier, I'm not sure. And I'm probably pretty positive that that's going to be very, very hard to get that high in building it. So tier 1 through 6, adding deduct. So you can lose points in here too. All right. Clan victory. If we win the siege, prep phase, the building phase, which we're doing right now, defending and upgrading buildings. Yeah, we're going to have to go through here. There's going to be a lot when it comes in here. And honestly, guys, having a crazy amount of champions in here really does make a big, big difference. There I am, you and you, but there are so many champions. There are so many things that you have to really rotate through. The depth of raid is absolutely insane. Even thinking of the Doom Tower, looking at the bosses, getting into the Cursed City, but just the very basic things of going through. I mean, look at this. We have so many things to do within here. I can see how people are totally just right into this and how much content and how many things are within this game itself. It is incredible. Progression rewards, where do we get to? Ooh, 100 gems. That takes us up to 157. That is a lot of energy that we could get. And I've been saving a little bit for the Guardian Ring. Players have said, and let me know in the comments if we should not be doing this at all. A lot of players said, do not upgrade the Guardian Ring at all, or the sparring pit at all. It is not worth it to go in there and build it out any further other than the very, very basic. And we're going to have a ton of farming to do, because here we're even going to get a couple more gifts out of there. That is going to give us some more of our resources. Yeah, I mean, we have 273 of our energy, and we still have a lot more coming on 45. We have a lot of farming. We absolutely have a considerable amount of farming to do, even going in here in the summoning and getting a lot more chips out of here. 2750, we need 35, then a quick 1,000 right there. Then we'll be 5,000 for that energy bonus as well. And then the dailies, we know we did get some more resources out of the dailies. We have the pass that's going on. And of course, we are free to play, guys. We are not putting anything in here. So going through and just kind of farming out anything that we can in really any part of raid that we can is making a big difference. So Soul Merchant, in here, I've been just kind of looking for the perfect souls. You can see we have 5 of these, but a majority of these, we haven't had the opportunity to get the champion. So I don't know if we go in here, really sit in who we want to build, because even right here, Meringue with a perfect soul, I believe that is the champion that we get with our points, which is right down here. So it might even behoove me, because I mean, we're 9 points away from the warm-up card to actually getting this champion itself, building out the champion, and then having the ability already within the Ultra of Souls to pick up a couple more of these, because I think I do have a couple coins in here that we could also go in and buy a few of these souls. We could pick up essentially the last 2 souls. I know probably not worth it, because we're at 1,000 right there, which means we could get an immortal soul. Could be much, much higher, but it is an RNG chance of going in here versus having the guaranteed chance of having that 1 star on that champion. Now, of course, when it comes to the epic champions, when it comes to all of these, it's really going to take a crazy amount of time before we have, and I love Cheshire, before we do get access to these when we do our summons. We're going to have to see, because I don't want to get a bunch of perfect souls like we have right here, or a lot of these progressive souls with a lot of the champions that we do not possess. I know there's going to be a point where a lot of these rare champions we are absolutely going to have to build out, because there are a lot of game modes that are only rare. There's a lot of game modes, you know, that require you to have very specific things. Even looking at Alice, we have to awaken Alice further within the tavern, adding that 3rd star actually within here to get Alice built up a little bit more ascended. I hope Magic Keep is closed. We were hoping that it would be open. Magic Keep, unfortunately, we didn't have enough energy to farm this out to get that 3rd star. Then, of course, we can go ahead and do the awakening, adding that 3rd red star in there, going to make a big difference in the amount of damage that she is doing. But like I said earlier, with the upgrading of the rank, we have 3 of the 5, and within the next couple days, we're going to have another 6 star. But a lot of players are saying Tagore. A lot of people are saying to go ahead and build up Tagore, that he is going to be the one that we want to get a lot higher. I did build out his skills significantly. We got lucky with these strong high skills, but I feel like even for the healing aspect that he has, going in here with a few different things, because increasing the speed, absolutely number 1 biggest thing that we have within raid, but we also do have the ability to shield and heal, which is going to be awesome. So 20% of this champion's max HP. If I can get Tagore's HP much, much higher, this is going to come a lot faster, not only reviving everyone with that 30%, but also giving them the shield. And if I can get, again, his HP a lot higher, this will be a lot stronger when he does the healing factor in here. We just need to continue to build them. Even looking at what we have for accessories and everything else, we need to get them a lot higher. We need to build them a lot higher. And I know going through here, grinding every day, even looking at where we are in the Great Hall in the Tavern, it is going to come with time. I've really understood that. And a lot of players that I know have been playing Raid for 6 years, it takes a lot of time to make progression in here, just because of the fact that you are limited with the stamina, and you're further limited if, like me, you are absolutely free to play. So we're not putting anything into Raid itself, but we're going through here and farming out like crazy. Now, campaign, like we were kind of talking yesterday, going through here, we have a few more places that we need to max out the stars, and getting these built all the way up. Look at this. This is 100 brews. And then we also do have a sacred shard in here. So I'm going to have to pick these up as well, getting a little bit further. But I feel like we just need to come in here. Now, we also want to talk about the Minotaur a little bit, because for me personally, I did not go through, I did not use any of the gems that we got to build out the Minotaur. We are at 15. I can farm 14 very, very easy. When it comes to stage 15 with where we're at, I unfortunately cannot farm that at all. Went through there. Usually by the time we get to the Minotaur, 2 or 3 of my champions at that point are completely dead. But I feel like going in here, and we're going to spend a considerable amount of time building these out, because also remember, within the Minotaur, once you do have masteries built out in the entirety, you don't have to do the Minotaur, or essentially they will not get any more scrolls from the Minotaur, meaning that if we have Tagore, if we have Kale, if we have Supreme Galak, if we get their masteries maxed out in the entirety, they're not going to be able to get any more from the Minotaur, even though they can still run it in here. Now, another thing to note is when it comes to these scrolls, It's kind of crazy. The Divine Scrolls, and I believe they need, it's 600, it might be 800. It was either 600 or 800 of these Divine Scrolls. So when you think about getting a champion and going through here and farming out this Minotaur, it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of scrolls and a lot of energy. I think it was around 2200 energy and farming stage 15 to max out one single champion if you're running them through here. So when I think of the amount of stamina we have right now, what we're building, going through here and getting these, energy wise is a lot cheaper than going through using your gems. But with the caveat, there are so many other places that you have to take in account where you could be using your energy, which I don't think that's factored when we look at a lot of the equations. But going in here and farming out the Minotaur for me is going to be huge, because when it comes to our champions itself, the masteries are not where they need to go. Most of them are at this exact same level or even a little bit lower, which we see right here with Alice. Some of these absolutely need to farm a lot more of our ascended stars in there. And then a lot of these, even a couple tanks and even some of the support champions that we do have, do require a much higher build than we currently have. And even looking at the Frog and a couple other ones in here that do not have any masteries at all, that I haven't built them, we're going to have to prioritize who we're building. We're going to have to work on really what we have, how we're going to do this, because I can't have champions like this that are literally just dying as soon as they do get into combat in the entirety, just because they're not built up. We don't have any of the masteries. We don't have a lot of things that we need to get on these champions to really make the viability and getting them to work. So I'm going to have to run this like crazy. And I feel like after we get a lot of these champions to 6 stars or getting them close to 6 stars, is we can start farming out for not only the scrolls themselves, but also farming the dungeons for the getting out and really building up a lot of that experience. So if we're taking a 50 to a 60, let's say, for instance, we go ahead and we get 6 stars on Tagore, running this through will not only yield me silver, but it will also give me some of the scrolls that we need. It will also, in addition, give me XP that we need going through here and finishing these out. So I feel like it's going to be kind of a triple benefit in there once we do farm these ones up to 60. And I'm thinking again that it is going to be Tagore. A lot of players have said absolutely. And just looking over here at the YouTube channel, a lot of players have said the exact same, that Tagore is the one that we need to build out. So as soon as we do get to the point of being able to upgrade the rank a little bit further, so we need essentially 2 more tier 5s to build. But even when we look at the 4s we have in the Guardian Ring, this is where we have them. Now you'll notice down here in the next levels, they are all identical. We are building them together. This keeps me from losing experience. This keeps me from having to log in here and actually click the button to level them up. I can set them in here. I only have to come in here when they're ready, and all 5 will be ready at the exact same time. Definitely had a tip over, and I believe it was Ash and a couple other players that shared it, keeping this and going out with the sparring pit, because every single time that they're gaining XP, you can see right here, 2,300 XP an hour. I mean, you're talking what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, what, 12, maybe 14,000 experience an hour. That is a lot of energy. When you think about grinding 12-3, when we start going through here and actually farming out some of these, 12-3 places, that is a crazy, crazy amount of energy that we're getting out and building them out. And even when we throw some level 1s in here, so if I drop 3 level 1s in here, not only are we getting, the level 1s, 1 stars up to 2 stars, but also going in here is we're getting the coins. Like we said earlier, really focused around that 6th anniversary. Not only are we getting the coins out of here, which I'll show you guys in just a minute when we go through here, but we're also getting the credit for the dungeon divers. That's the other one. So we have the event that is going on. We have the secondary event that is going on with the 6th anniversary. We're getting a lot of silver out of here. We're getting a lot of experience. We are also getting farming up, those 2, 3, 4-star chickens out of here as we're building them up. So when you look at all of the bases, the energy efficiency in this game is honestly the biggest way that you can make progression. Even right here, guys, we got 42 party coins. We got the Alice chase points. We also did get the 1 item we're going to sell, gained a lot more levels. So we also got 2 additional summons, 21K there, not including what we just sold. Massive, absolutely massive. Now I go in here, we go ahead and run the second one. Makes it very, very easy. Boom. Running through here, all of these 1 stars are now going to be at 2 stars. I will go ahead. I will level all 3 of those up. Then we're going to run this a couple times more. With those additional couple times that we run through here, those 2 stars will go to 3. And then the 3s, we're going to go ahead, use some more food. Then we can take these all the way to the food that we're going to use to those max out champions that are going to be at 4 stars, and so on and so forth. Now, doing this methodology, going through here and building this out, gives you the ability to get 1 champion to 6-star with just the regular farming every single week. Now, of course, the 1s, the 2s, the 3s, even going into the 4s, you're going to have the food prepped, but we're at the point where we're getting these to the max level. So let's hop in the Bastion, and I'll show you kind of what I'm talking about. So going in here, only rank the upgrades. So we will take all of these using just some of these little 1 stars we have. Boom, all 3 of these guys go right up to the 2 stars. Now we hop right back in the battle. You could auto this. I choose not to. I usually just do a couple other things and multitask in here. Now all of our 2 stars are now back to level 1, but they're 2 stars. We can do the exact same. We can run this out quite a bit, getting a lot of resources, getting a lot of different things out of here as we're making progression in every other game mode that we're going in here and farming out. It's really, really imperative, again, maximizing the energy, maximizing the consumption of energy that you have in here. And sometimes we get lucky with the crits and we can just burn everybody down. Usually, again, takes around 30 seconds, 45 seconds. So going through at 16 stamina a run, this actually burns through pretty quick. You can go through, and we want to make sure that we do not have, and we're not sitting on any of our tokens, any of our cards, any of our stamina, any of our keys, anything that we have within here, that we are not sitting on this. And look at this, 72 party coins right here because of the levels these champions gained. Huge, huge, huge increase right there. Again, we need 1,000. We need, I think, another 3,500 for where we're at. But again, we'll take the 2s, those 2 stars, we'll get them to 3 stars. Then when I move them to 4 stars, they are going to be parked at those level 4 or 4-star level 1s. That is going to be all the food that we're using to get the rest of those 4s to 5s. And then, of course, the 5s to 6, so on and so forth. Absolutely getting through a lot of this and getting through a lot of this content very quickly. I mean, I figure in the first, 30, 45 days, we can probably have 3, 4, maybe 5 stars, depending on exact, or 5, 6 stars, depending on how we are now. Every now and then we do get the free food. So once these are maxed up, this is actually going to be an incubus. This is going to be one that I'm going to use. So one of these champions right down here are just going to eat this one. Picked up another 45 party coins, which does give us a couple more, got a couple more rewards in there. So we need 35. We're at 29. So again, thinking of what we're getting right now for the aftermath or after party path, we're going to be able to pick this up pretty quick. This one's going to be picked up pretty quick. Hopefully we can get around 5,000 to pick this up in the next day or 2. We have 2 more days of this event in its entirety. Again, wanting to get to those immortal souls and then seeing what else we can kind of pick up through here based on the gameplay, based on exactly where we are and what we're looking at to get. Because again, getting a couple diamonds in here, if we don't have enough when this ends, we can just go in here and we can build and we can buy out exactly what we need. Within here, getting those keys. Again, the keys, I'm not too worried about getting these split souls within here. Not going to make a really big difference in here with the split souls, especially because I do not have that champion. Now, farming to a tier 3 chicken right here. And I know down here we have a couple primordial quartz. A few more. We should be able to farm this out within, what do we got, 2 more days? Yeah, 2 more days. We should be able to farm out this pretty considerably. Even looking in here, getting that book, if we can get to a legendary skill totem, that would be crazy. Usually Dungeon Diver. Now, traditionally, they say go in and farm a level 20 dungeon is what, a lot of players have said. So go in something like the Dragon, farm out and really farm this level 20 because of the 5, 6 artifacts. This is the highest efficiency where if you want to push the content within Dungeon Diver, stage 20 is where you want to be. And that is going to be the big, big piece that you go in there and you farm all the time. Even looking in here, getting some of these mortal soul coins. Again, energy cost in here. I feel like save now, farm now, get all of my champions built up to 60, even getting additional champions as we're making a lot more progression. But once we go in there and we get them all the way up to 60, start doing the Ascended, start getting the souls on there, making a big difference with how much we are opening in this game. Now, 6 more hours on the 25x boost. I was really on the fence about doing summons because I know here times 15, times 20, times 25 with our sacred shards, with everything else, I am just saving them. I know a lot of players have said this as well. Just go ahead and save them in the entirety. Wait to see the 2x event that is coming up, because we don't have the resources. We don't have, stacks and stacks and stacks that we're sitting on a ton of different shards. So we're going to wait until we do have an event. There we go. We got a couple more 2 stars, but we're going to come and wait till we actually have an event where these numbers are higher. You'll actually see them in yellow. Mythical will go to that 1%, legendary 2. So essentially you'll have a lot higher chance for those epic, legendary, and mythical champions within here. So I want to make sure we're really double dipping with all the events, and we're just going to save them. As much as I would love to go in here and use a sacred shard, get the points for it, possibly get a legendary champion out of there, I want to save it. I want to save, and I want to play the game of doing it smart versus really foregoing and doing it right now. I want to make sure that we're maximizing everything that we are getting out of these events in the entirety, making sure, again, progression-wise. Now, we have Arena, we have Tag Arena, we have a couple Crypt Keys we have in here, the Hydra, the Chimera, and then I'm waiting to see, what does it say? 4 days on the Siege Scroll. I want to see if this kicked off. No, the prep resets in 2 days. So we're good. We're good on the Siege. Have to make sure a lot more guildies are in here. And I know we have a lot of guildies that are not on a very high level. This is just a guild that I hopped in. The last one was super inactive. So if you have a very, very solid, a very active guild on here, definitely let me know. I mean, I play every single day. We're making a lot more progression as we're going through this content and unlocking and figuring everything out in the entirety. Absolutely, guys. Doom Tower, we've been a little bit stuck in just because we're lacking some of the rares. Got to build up a couple more of those rares and getting to the point where we can actually do that systematically. We have the Forge, Great Hall I've been farming as well, starting to get, and looking at the accuracy, we need 150 medals. Going to take a couple more days, getting a little bit more accuracy, and we're going in for magic. Now, the reason is, why do we look at a majority of our magic champions, which is right here, building this out first? Most of the champions that you possess, especially at this level, are magic. When we start going through here and looking at the parameters and looking really at, what they have and what the champion tags are, everything like that, it makes a big difference because, I mean, we have, if you look, magic right here with KO at 60. If we get to Gore to 60, Alice is magic right here. Our high elf is magic. Even looking a little bit further down here, we have a lot of magic champions, which is the reason why we're focusing on that one first. Even though it's a little bit more expensive, they said get it to level 4. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to focus on getting magic to 4, defense, crit, resistance, and accuracy. Then we're going to focus on getting these to 4, these to 4, and then these to 4. And then we're going to come right back to the top, rinse and repeat. Now they have said, and again, looking at HP and attack and defense, these are 3 different attributes that can be different depending on the champion you're using. So this can make a really big difference where I could build HP on a champion and it doesn't have a lot of effect for the skills that they possess, because some of them are based on attack, some of them are based on defense, but defense makes a big difference with survivability with everybody, which is the reason, again, with Kale being my farmer, I'm going to focus on and build out the magic aspect first before we get into another part within raid. So I'm going to continue farming in here, guys. Want to use all my tokens, want to use all my coins. Even looking here, we could possibly burn some of these diamonds to build it out a little bit further, but using some energy. Yep, Classic Arena is going to be easy. Campaign bosses, again, are going to be very, very easy to get through. This, of course, is going to go to the weeklies. Monthlies, we have another 8 days, and this will give us not only a sacred shard, but we will pick up that void shard as well, getting another ancient shard right here, and then we've been picking up diamonds out of here every single day, farming towards the rest of these tomes and getting this built out in the entirety, making sure we get some energy, which works incredibly well. So we have a lot of farming to do on here, guys. But all right, so that is going to do it for today's live stream. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Very, very cool. I am still enjoying this game immensely in the 3 weeks that we've been playing it. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.